He's a almost a real talent. He's a really strong player and definitely one of the better UK players out there. So he's definitely one of them. I think another guy that also deserves some mentioning is of course Crucial. Has played in a few good teams throughout the years, and I would say those two are probably the two standout players for me.
Yeah, 100%. You've got players like Crucial, who's actually an ex-Infused man himself, so he'll know the likes of Zed, Aaron, and so on, who have been in Infused for quite a while. He'll have played in Infused along with the days of Red Snake altogether. And of course, Crucial will probably be mostly well known for his time with Splice GG, if you remember that far back. Great AWPer from the Netherlands. Pulse as well. He's actually a Gfinity UK champion. I think around a year or 2 years ago, we had the Gfinity UK Championships, and Pulse emerged victorious in that. So a fantastic talent within the UK scene is Pulse, along with Neil Zinho, who is, of course, the leader of Method. So much experienced in the 26-year-old ESWC 2011, ESWC 2012, 13, DreamHack Valencia. The list goes on. And I'll tell you what else is going on. The pistol round. Ladies and gents, it's Cobblestone Live, Week 4, Season 2 of the Gfinity Elite Series.
Yeah, and it does look like Infused are just going to be rushing mid here, and it's actually a really nice decision. They've only left Crucial here on the A bomb site, and he's decided to isolate himself on the opposite side of the A bomb site here as they come charging up. Try to see if they can get control of the site, but they do know that someone is lurking in the shadows. Crucial trying to see if he can find the flank, and Aaron faking out the bomb plant, so has to check the back of the site. But a pretty slow round, even though it's a rush up mid.
The game, however, has now been given away, and first blood will go to the Flying Dutchman in Crucial. Surreal chimes in with a headshot of his own, but at the moment it's all kicking off over on the A-bomb site. Mick with a hat-trick for the round as Crucial gets a hat-trick of his own. Mick with 4 kills, but it just wasn't enough. Surreal on the bomb. Surreal defuses the bomb. First round towards Method, and you've got to feel sorry for Mick there. 4 kills from him. Not really much more he could do, but unfortunately that round, the rest of his teammates just weren't up to par.
We've definitely started first round, and already a very exciting one. One guy getting a 4K as well, and then a 1 versus 1 that goes in favor of the favorites here. So Surreal with 2 kills already rocking up big, and Crucial, the other guy I mentioned, also with 3 kills. So it's actually pretty nice that they decided to just make it easy for me. It is going to be buy-up from Method here. You see a few SMGs, one of them obviously being in drop, so shouldn't be too big of a disadvantage, as most of the Infused players actually decided to go without armor, and we'll see how that affects the play here. Obviously they got the bomb down, but still MCK going with that Kevlar.
Yep, he's the odd one out. Fry down to 18 points of health. On paper, this should be an easy round for Method. They're all stacked at the moment, thanks to winning that all-important pistol round. Infuse, of course, haven't really invested in armor and Kevlar because they got that bomb down, despite losing the first round. So they will more than likely go for the early buy come round number 3.
Yeah, and they're deciding to play the eco round in a way that I think that actually works really well. What they're just doing is waiting for the Method side to use up all their utility as to make it as expensive as possible, but even making it more expensive is Fry here, who takes down Surreal. Such a long-range shot with the P250 as Janko comes in with the SMG. He actually only manages to pick up one of those. One gets picked up by Grenade, and Ilsinho gets the second. But all in all, I mean, good money made from Method, and at the same time, good job by Infused to actually bleed out the nades and just sit tight. Hold a very passive default, and yeah, we're going into the 3rd round now where both teams have invested quite heavily.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. They played it passive, slow, forced out the nades from the counter-terrorist side, because now obviously going into this round they've been forced to rebuy them and spend money. But here we go. Team Infused, 5 Kalashnikovs in their ownership. Little boost, cheeky little boost coming in towards a B-bomb site. And number 7, who's Zed, is going to be the lurker on the other side of the map, just watching for a CT push. I think I was surprised in the last round that Surreal actually died from such a long distance to the pistols, but again, we know how good the pistols are in CSGO specifically as opposed to previous iterations, and oh, well, look who's just entered the server. Had a great pistol round, and he's just had a great third round, despite the antics of the previous round. I've just said round far too many times in one sentence for my own liking, but he disposes of 2 Infused players, and in a blink of an eye, they find themselves down 2 men already.
Infused players gathering up here on the B plateau. MCK taking yet another kill. He's really gotten off to a great start. Looking for more as flashes come raining in. Has the angle to maybe catch one, but they just narrowly dodge him as nades fly out. It's going to be a smoke. A bit goes a bit far back, and that might not sell the fake as well as it could have, which is also why we see number 1, that's Crucial, going to be rotating off of the bomb site as Infused. Now, it looks like they're going to try to take the drop zone control and actually split A off of it immediately. Going to be taken down in the back. Jenko with 1 and a second as Fry is going to be trading that out, but 15 seconds left on the clock, and a player in a very, very powerful position. It is Crucial. Picks out the guy. I would have said Flying Dutchman, obviously because it's Crucial, but unfortunately it was the Infused player that was jumping, so that doesn't really work that well. But yeah, first buy round, super crucial. It looked like it was perhaps a read, something that they had pre-prepared, or yeah, just prepared, with the 3 Molotovs going up on the plateau there. It really looked like it was a read that they had on the first buy round. They like to boost plant, or maybe that's just something they do. And if you're Infused, that sticks with you for some time. The fact that you likely your game plan is kind of compromised. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how seeing how Infused are actually gonna come up with an answer. It's never nice to feel like the opponents know your every move.
I think credit where it's due to Jenko and his SMG in that last round as well. Really, him holding that connector position would have really made or broke the round for Team Infused. If Jenko hadn't gotten them 2 kills, Crucial would have been significantly outnumbered. But talking about being outnumbered at the moment, it's that same man again, Jenko, who gets the double, but in the blink of an eye, bada bing, bada boom, Fry and Aaron both get a kill apiece as Team Infused rally towards the B bomb site. Bomb will get planted, and it forces the CTs to get up close and personal with the submachine guns, the M4 and the CZ of Team Infused. Fry flanked from behind. It's a 2 versus 1, and it is now all up to the X-Splice Maestro, and he can't do it. Team Infused winning a round. You can hear, you can see what it means to neilM. A round that Team Infused had absolutely no right to win, and Method blew it.
The Splice-Stro.
Did I say that?
No, he said Splice Maestro, but I like that.
I would have been impressed with myself if I said that. That's the thing.
Definitely a sick wordplay. But I was sitting here talking about how the first Byron was so important. It turns out it apparently isn't. Infused actually making really, really great work with those pistols. And what I really like seeing as well is the guy that pushed up on the site trying to kill the bomb planner. It ended up being a situation where the 2 Ts stuck behind the statue almost double peaked him. And it just... It feels like Infused. You can kind of feel that they definitely believe they have a really good shot at this game. You know, already getting so many pistol kills that they really shouldn't have had definitely is a good way to start this cobblestone match.
So, 3 counter-terrorists towards a B-bomb site. Nothing too spectacular coming out or surprising coming out from Method. Having won 3 rounds in a row, of course, they do have money to buy up again. But Neil is going to get overwhelmed as Mick slays him towards the A-bomb site. Molotov down at connector, but Pulse gets nailed in the head by that same man again who got a 4K on the pistol round, and now he's got a double. He's leading the charge. Leading the charge where? Towards the A-bomb site. And I tell you what, Method, they're running away from the A-bomb site, wanting to save these weapons. And NATO, where do you think it went wrong? That hold was atrocious for Method.
Well, first of all, I think what happened was that they kind of gave up the Matrix. And I need to actually clarify this, because Matrix, I think even UKCS, they call what I would call danger, they call that Matrix. And I would call the A-long area Matrix. So I just feel like the A map control was was given too easily. And then Neo, I think it was, tried to get into a position where he could look over the fence, but the wooden fence there, but didn't manage to get the right timing on it, and it got caught. And then the guy down mid, he had to try to isolate himself, but was, you know, pincered from 2 different angles. And even though the CT save, I don't think Surreal actually acquired a rifle. Since the 2 A players, they died so deep in the site, he couldn't. Oh, he actually even went down off screen, I think. But it's definitely crucial that Crucial hangs on to the orb there. He's going to be the playmaker in this round, and he needs to look for some openings, I feel.
Dancy. Big green gun, the big AWP, ready to rumble in his hands. All eyes down the long area, but if he's not careful, Pulse could end up with his pulse being stopped as Team Infused rally the troops and rise upon this B bomb site. Fry leads the charge. Mick gets 1, gets 2, and he knows Neil is in and around the area as well. He's going to try and barbecue the Scotsman, but the Molotov just about misses. Surreal gets a kill, but gives away his position. And now it's important that both Zed and Mick, knowing that both their opponents will more than likely have pistols, keep their distance as far as possible. It would be catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic, if Team Infused were to lose this round. But look who steps up. It's that man again, Mick, who's been on fire so far today. And knowing that Surreal was stuck at the back of the B-bomb site, the Infused boys have just gone to A. Surreal's got an AWP. He's not got any armor. And put yourself in his shoes here, NATO. 2 versus 1. Would you risk it? Would you go for it? That's the question.
I mean, he does have $2,500, so Method are definitely going to be coming up with a buy next round anyway. Saving the orb would be very valuable, but then again, it's a 1 versus 2. They don't really have info on him. They used to, but lost it. And now Mick has also lost his life as Surreal. Goes into 1 versus 1, but as soon as they found the info, he obviously didn't have the info on the terrorist side and ends up going down for it. I want to actually just kind of challenge the Infused players' perspective on the B bomb side there. So they get the kill on the guy Rock, and they are in a 2 versus 1 situation. They know Surreal got a kill from Chicken Coop, and they know he only had a USP, which never is coupled with an armor. Instead, they actually rotate off to the A bomb side and allow him to find an AWP, which could have ended up turning the round in Surreal's favor. Interestingly enough, instead, they could have maybe just opted to watch the chicken coop area and not allow him to get a gun. But going into the next round, it is Jenko going to be opening things up. Has had impressive aim placement so far and does actually get the first kill here on Aaron. Surreal chiming in with 1 as Pulse, also finds 1, and Dancy is going to be trading out that kill. Zed from the backlines finds the perfect timing on the lurk here in the drop zone area and looks for 1 more as Dancy's finds yet another. And Zed, and it's Infused again, Kainai.
It is. Dancy's the game. Well, you know, he took his time. Important kills. And for the first time, Team Infused now find themselves in the lead. As for the Method defense, well, they find themselves pretty much terrified. Only pistols. Pulse with a grenade, but I mean, how much is that going to do up against the stacked Team Infused? That's the question. At this point, probably 5-3. Team Infused starting to build up a bit of bank. And Method, you know, anything can happen in Counter-Strike, but they've got to be careful not to fall too far behind. What's important now for Team Infused? Play this passive, play this slow, keep your distance, and don't get up close and personal with the CZ75s, the 5.7s, and the P250s that are lurking around. Real nice play from Team Infused. Both players together from different angles, cleaning out mid. Aaron says, I'm going to do this all by myself as he storms into the A-bomb site and bids farewell to not 1, but 2 counter-terrorists. Team Infused playing that round to perfection.
Yeah, and one thing I wanna really highlight here is the fact that I feel Infused are taking a lot of these rounds down to sheer pace. They're running all over the map so quickly, and it seems like Method, they are completely rattled, and they're giving up so much map control. What we actually saw here in the round that he just had pistols, they got the early info that they were taking the A long control, and then they rotated 2 players over from the B bomb site. That was a quick rotation. They got an early, they got early info. The problem is they only had pistols, and it's to me, and we are actually seeing exactly that unfolding here on the A bomb site. That they are going for the early info, as Crucial has taken his AWP there to look through the mid doors, and I think that's a much better bet. It seems like Method have kind of been caught on the back foot, as we see this B execute going to be coming in just a few seconds.
Smokes, flashes, all lobbed over as Pulse finally comes to life and starts beating, but Infused fight back. Smokes, flashes, lobbed all over this B bomb site, and suddenly the game slows down. Zed can hear the footsteps of Crucial coming his way, but I think Crucial knows he's there. Who's going to win this battle? You know what? It's going to be the AWPer in Crucial. 3 versus 2. Another AWPer responds back, and suddenly it's time for the Dutchman to clutch. 39 points of health on Crucial, 12 on Aaron. And Crucial picks up the M4, creeps around the statue, searching for Aaron, and wins an important round for Method. He stepped it up right when Method needed it there, Nato. Well done, Crucial.
Not just well done, Crucial. He decides to solo retake the drop zone area with an AWP. Not something that you see that often, but it actually works out so well for him. He takes the very key frag on Zed, who's the lurker, not just in that scenario, but on the Infused side. And then, even though his 2 teammates actually get taken down, he manages to trade the second guy fallen, and smoothly and cleanly picks up a rifle, does the job. Last guy is low, but still manages to win the 1 versus 1 clutch on a really, really big round from Crucial.
So you spoke about Infused tempo, but it could come to bite them in the bum. It's that man yet again, Crucial. Oh, hat-trick from Crucial, so close to making it 4 with the no-scope. But Pulse comes in and says, you know what, mate, I'll give you a hand. And there we go, it's even Steven once again. What was your take on what Infused tried there?
I think it's a bit of a YOLO play, trying to catch the AWP off guard.
I like
yeah, well, I mean, it is trying to catch the AWP off guard. They know he's probably searched some info. He did it earlier. Problem is he hits all of his shots, and they don't use any nades, and they don't trade effectively. So the play is not so much at fault. It's more the execution of the play. And we do see once again they're just so fast. Infused. They really want to just take the fight to the Method team. It's funny how this is a UK derby, but right now seems like it's Crucial that is actually probably the most instrumental player. He's definitely had a few rounds in a row where he's just been stepping up massively. And it does look like Infused, they do like that drop zone control. This time only going to be faking at first, using nades to take it, which will obviously make it much easier. They do actually get a bit of spam onto Pulse, and he's trapped in a corner, somehow makes it out, but only barely. 4 HP on him, and 4 players on the B-bomb side from both teams, as Jenko gets a triple spray down. MCK with Jenko with yet another, as Surreal takes down MCK. And it just seems like right now in Method, it's not the team play, it's the individual brilliance.
Yeah, I think if you go onto YouTube and search Lane the Smackdown, you'll get a replay of that 4K from Jenko. Feel like Team Infused should have really done better, and now they quite literally have to pay the price. CZ for Zed. 3 P250s, make that 4 for Team Infused. Interestingly though, 3 of them opting to go for Kevlar, so let's see if we're going to see something thick and fast, and who's going to dispatch of who first. Smoke going in. Aaron could get close enough to Surreal and surprise him, but Surreal actually dodges behind them, pulls the trigger, and gets not 1, not 2, but 5 kills, thanks to Pulse chiming in elsewhere as well. And in the end, no real flashes going across towards that bomb site. Far too easy for the rifles, especially when you consider as well, like, Infused kind of invested a fair bit into that round as well. It wasn't just, let's buy pistols and it's all right if we lose pistols. No, 3 of them buyed Kevlar, and that was, for me, that was a poor round, and it's no surprise to see him really opting to go for a tactical timeout at the moment.
But in a round where you invest like that, obviously they didn't invest in nades, but they did still invest in pistols and Kevlar. I would like to see something that's
out of the ordinary, something practiced, something drilled.
Yeah, something drilled.
Like as if something was planned. It didn't look like they had anything planned. It was just like, right, they always put a smoke down here. Let's just try and take him by surprise and run through the smoke.
They did have a flash over the wall, actually, but it didn't really catch Surreal. And the only reason that it didn't catch him was because he played up on the plateau, which is obviously kind of... I mean, it's not something you see that often when you are playing versus pistols, that the rifle is going to try to get up close. Obviously, had the smoke as cover, but I definitely would have liked to see it more that either wait for the smoke to dissipate. I don't see why you want to execute that strat so early on in the round when you could have potentially just waited. Or maybe, you know, use it towards mid where you can catch maybe some guy early on in mid and just try to speed up. On plant, it's very hard to trade effectively, especially if you're going through a smoke. And
I think it's that kind of decision making that separates the best from the rest. You know what I mean? Since the flash has gone over the wall, chances are the first guy will probably rushing through the smoke be able to get away with checking the corner as soon as he comes out. Plus the smoke's still there, so he'll be somewhat covered by the box and the smoke as well. You check that corner up close and personal with the P250, get that quick headshot, and suddenly the rest of your lads, 3 of you, don't get sprayed down from behind. And you know, sometimes in Counter-Strike, every little helps, and incorrect decision making sometimes can cost you important rounds, and that's what I think we saw there. But anyways, Method more than aware of what's coming out from Team Infused here, and it's Pulse to eradicate Mick. Jenko comes in with a kill onto Aaron and gets revenge for the death of Pulse, but Fry is ready to rumble and not too far behind as well. 2 Infused men march up mid, but Neil's behind them, whilst Crucial carries on doing what Crucial's been doing all game so far, getting kills for fun, and Method win another round.
Yeah, a really good round for both teams, actually. And I mean, it's obviously not expert analysis to shout out this guy, Mick, for having 13 kills and probably being the best fragger on his team right now, but I really do think I actually need to mention the fact that he gets out of the drop zone window, runs around the pillar, and still is so ready for the fight to be in that exact spot. Some guy just hiding behind the pillar takes him down to something like 10 HP, and even though he doesn't get the kill, he just puts his teammates in such a good position, and I feel like it's something that's you know, quite easy to miss, but I really feel like he's having a very good game, not just in terms of fragging, but also even the rounds where he doesn't get the frags, he does actually have quite a bit of impact. So definitely playing a really, really good match here.
Yeah, so, you know, put yourself in the shoes of the Team Infused in-game leader right now. What would you want done differently?
Well, I like what they're doing, actually, because they are currently constantly taking drop. And it works well for them. This is the first retake we see in drop, and unfortunately there's no one there to trade. A bit of a misplay, I would say, but it's obviously hindsight's 2020. But I do really like the fact that they're trying to take drop. The problem is just that they've kind of been using it too fast, I would say. But Aaron going to be the front man here, going to be taken down by Jenko. Surreal with another, Surreal with yet another, and now it's left to Mick. And Surreal with yet another.
Spectacular Surreal. Staggering Surreal. Sensational Surreal. I mean, what can you do when you're Team Infused and you know, you're coming up against a defense like Surreal's defense? Granted, I still feel like Team Infused aren't doing themselves any favors. It almost just seems like they do the hard bit right in getting the right positions, NATO, but it's just that final bit of oomph once the execution is made that they're lacking that extra smoke towards the back of that B bomb site. They're lacking that secondary flash. I mean, it looked to me like that entire B push was reliant on that one flash that we saw, of course, just over the wall on its own. And given that the CTs most of the time will play 3 CTs in and around that B bomb site, 1 sometimes in the drop zone and 2 on the bomb site, you really need a lot more than that. But hello, Crucial with the double, Surreal with the hat trick, Team Infused, more like Team Confused. And I'm going to use that because I came up with that, and I heard before the game in the pre-game trailer, Jackie was using it. I'm not having that. I need to patent that quote. It was mine. But yeah, I have the rights to it now. But there we go. I mean, for me, Team Infused there, just not good enough. So many of them piled up outside the B-bomb site. Crucial says, hello, how are you? You know, and just has a stroll behind him and gets 2 kills. It's just not good enough.
No, it's definitely not good
It's
enough.
men against boys.
Yeah,
when
but
you see plays like that.
You even said it yourself, right? It's that the T side here from Infused, they were actually really good at getting the map control, both on A and in drop, and even the B plat some of the time. But it seemed like whenever they actually got just a piece of the map control, they would just accelerate immediately off of it. It was never the case where they would take drop and then, or for example, play a slow round. You start by taking the A map control, and then they have to be playing from sides. They can't really get that early info. They can't stack accordingly. Then take drop zone, because it seemed like Method were constantly giving the drop. And that's a really, really powerful piece of map control that you can just sit and hang on to. But it seemed like every time they got the drop zone control, they would just like fly out faster than Sonic the Hedgehog through the window or through the pop or electric area. And that's just no, it was a bit of a shame, because they actually did a really, really good job at taking the map control, but they just did a very poor job at actually utilizing the part of the maps that they actually gained.
100%. It is, of course, a tactical timeout, or a technical timeout, rather. If you've just tuned in, this is week 4 of the Gfinity Elite Series. It's the second season, of course. £90,000 prize pool. And it's none other than the UK Derby going on. Method versus Infused. And Method, I'm pleased to say, are in the lead. And the reason why I say I'm pleased to say they're in the lead is because obviously myself, you, and our 2 analysts predicted that Method would win. But obviously still a lot of Counter-Strike to be played.
Yeah, but I do feel like we also see the difference in terms of individual skill. You know, I feel fairly confident in saying that Crucial is not going to be boosted with an orb-up drop and flank people at a LAN versus people that he see as a big threat. You know, it seemed like towards the end of that half, it was almost like it was showboating. But we actually see the identical strat to what Infused did in their pistol round, pretty much, and it does seem to work once again. So we are going to be just seeing a huge face-off here on the A bomb site, as Mick instrumental in the first one, and Fry hiding in the back lines, but is found out, but still somehow manages to take not just 1 but 2 kills. Fry takes down Jenko and Surreal, and Nilsinho with 1. Can he find the second? Can't quite. Dances takes him out, and Fry looking for more, can't quite get it. Crucial in the meantime finds Zed, and 2 guys down mid trying to make their way up. No kit in hand, and Crucial dropping dangerously low. Pulse gets shot in the side, somehow still manages to survive, and Fry looking to go for these kills. He tries to find Crucial, but unfortunately it's not going to be happening this time around, and that puts the 11th round on the board for Method, who are now, well, I'd say almost cruising to victory, but that's pretty obvious that they are going to be doing that when they have a Kia man. Yeah, that was a lousy joke.
Yeah, for people that don't exactly understand that reference, Surreal's actual name is Kia Man. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly or not, but that was NATO's
really bad joke.
Really bad joke, yeah. But to be fair, this is the 3rd time I commentate with you. I'm used to your bad jokes.
Yeah.
I think only I probably find them funny. It's my fault for actually laughing at them.
Yeah,
because
you're encouraging bad behavior.
Exactly, yeah. But anyways, going into the second half, of course, Method had a 10-5 lead, and the last thing really Team Infused needed was to lose a pistol round, and unfortunately, that's exactly what's happened to them. So both pistol rounds now going towards Method, and it's reflected in the scoreline. 3 UMPs, and San Andreas style Mac 10 in the hands of Jenko. Really exciting young talent in the UK scene, and the Kalashnikov, the AK-47, in the hands of the Dutchman, who's really been fascinating. It's been marvellous so far this game as we approach round 17, where it could all kick off. It's important that Method keep their distance, take their time, don't jump straight into the pistols, because that's the kind of damage they can do from close range. Aaron, ex-MTW man, opens the scoring before Fry gets 2 of his own. Phenomenal Fry, like we saw from the last round, is doing it again. 3 versus 2. Jenko doesn't spot Dancy behind him, and it does look like Infused are going to win this eco round.
Yeah, he might be able to. No, wait. The only AK went into the Connect area. That's the one that Dancy
with Crucial, and he lost it.
and that was, I think that was the only AK. So all he actually has to work with is this UMP, which is obviously not that good at range. It used to be pretty overpowered, but now in a more balanced state. And because of that, the AK reigns supreme as Dancy takes a bit of scream, and I love this. I love the. Yeah, I'm gonna use the word banter.
I love how he moves his mic, then screams. You know, not to deafen the rest of his teammates.
Good guy.
It's a tactic. He's trying to deafen the other team instead. Yeah, I'm used to Neil and his antics. Dare I say it though, I don't think I've ever actually noticed his screaming ever work for Infused. Out of all the years that I've been commentating Infused, no, I'm just pulling your leg. But anyways, here we go. So the big bad guns, big bad weapons, big nasty weapons now in possession of Team Infused, and they're making it count, or are they? Crucial gets revenge for the last round as he nails Zed in the head, and suddenly 3 versus 3. It's all even. Bomb dropped, but will get retrieved by Jenko's left-hand man in this case. That's Crucial. And Method running down the clock now, just waiting to see whether or not Team Infused, whether or not the CTs get a little bit agitated and make a mistake. Because in this kind of scenario, just one player making a mistake, one player hitting the deck is enough to give you that control you need, that numerical advantage on one side of the map to then take it, and this could be the mistake. Rotation comes in. Oh no, but Crucial's lost the bomb, and Dancy knows exactly that. 45 seconds to go. Jenko needs support from Neil to join him, but unfortunately, he's on the complete other side of the map. Dancy's M4 reigns supreme, and I couldn't help but feel like Method could have been in a ridiculously commanding situation given how Team Infused went about rotating over towards mid, but instead, Neil, now with only P250 in a 2 versus 1. Can he get this kill? He can't. Should he have got the kill, he'd have had an AK. But once again, a round where Method surely didn't spend that much going into that round, but it really did feel winnable at one point.
You are completely right. One thing I wanted to mention though is that I was standing here while you were talking and trying to come up with a way to kind of explain how or why I feel like Method had a much better switch of tempo. So they got the 2 first kills. They got this, well, a lot of map control. They got the whole connector, but they decided to actually slow it down. And that was really, really good. But it kind of was all for nothing when you lose the bomb inside connector. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame for Method who now have to go onto pistols with no Kevlar, which is going to be the demise of 3 of their players. Could have maybe done more, but Pulse, apologies, is trying to make more from what he's got. He's got a C-set, now an AK. What is Dancy's doing there? Caught in no man's land, but quickly traded by Mick. And it's actually becoming a close affair.
It is. But let's not jinx it, shall we? I mean, let's be honest. We saw the predictions at the start of the game. I mean, I said as well, I think I mentioned it, that even though I feel like Method are the better side and will win, I feel like it's going to go right down to the wire. And even the players, when they predicted in the video, of course, just before we went live, they were predicting scores like 16-12, 16-14, and so on. So, you know, even they think it's going to be ridiculously close. And rightly so. That's exactly what we're seeing. 4 AKs for Method, 4 M4s for Team Infused, and Crucial's going to be the AWPer for Method. Meanwhile, Dancy, who, I'll tell you what, I'd like to see Dancy do a little bit more with his AWP. I do feel like when Infused were on the terrorist side, he was a little bit quiet. So now he's going to be a little bit more static, I'd say, on this CT side. I'd like to see more from Dancy's AWP.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We do see a lot more battles here for the map control towards the A-bomb site, and I'm liking this because it means both teams have realized how important that obviously is. Probably knew it beforehand, but it's just hard to make that your game plan. Mick takes down Jenko though as Fry takes one. Neil, quick trade. Mick gets yet another, and Surreal also finds one that's Mick to drop. Zed takes Surreal down, and it's all left to Neil, who is in a 1 versus 3, and it does look like he is completely okay with him giving up the round as long as he can keep this up. I think that is not too bad of a decision. They won't have too much money next round, but it is, of course, I feel like anything's possible when you save an AWP. You can buy pistols on the rest of the squad, and you know, if that AWP gets one opening, that's a gun drop. Maybe you can pick it up. You can start building from there. It definitely makes it much easier for you to get back into it. So I think it's a good decision from Neo, especially because he's in a 1 versus 3 with 16 HP. It's highly unlikely that he's going to make much from this. So saving the AWP is definitely the better choice.
Yeah, I think the odd exit frag could have probably helped Neil there. Only 5 kills for him, but again, this guy, he is the most experienced lad within the Method lineup. So many offline LAN events under his belt. He'll have been in many, many worse situations, both as an individual and given how the tide is turning within the game as part of this Method side. So he won't be panicking too much, and I don't think people at home, if you're a Method fan, should be panicking too much either. But here we go. Round 21. As both Method and Infused get ready to rumble. Crucial. All eyes on any CTs, you know, jumping up, bunny hopping, looking to take a peek towards this long area towards B, but nothing. Jenko's pushed up towards his left-hand side, whilst Surreal and Co push towards drop down with them CZ75s. And, you know, that makes sense. You want to get up close and personal when you've got them pistols. That's when you're really going to make a difference, not from a long distance trying to take on all the M4s that the CTs possess. Zed, though, ready and waiting, and he will have heard Surreal's footsteps. It's just a case of who spots who first, and that's an important kill there for Zed as he obliterates Surreal. And now, with the clock ticking down, Dancy gets a kill. Infused know that the troops are coming. Jenko missing that peak, whilst his teammate in Nilzinho falls on the floor thanks to Dancy's second kill of the round. Unless Pulse can get this kill onto Zed and pick up an M4, it really does feel like this round, yeah, is going towards Infused, and before you know it, as far as this game is concerned, the game is starting to race away from Method when you consider the lead they had at one point. You can really tell it's a derby, can't you? It's like Man United against Man City. Oi! That's my best Neil M impression.
Yeah, that was perfect, bro. But yeah, I mean, when Method were taking the lead, oh, hang on. When Infused were taking the lead on the T side, I wanted to make the point that obviously it's what most people see as a T-side map, and I personally am of that belief that a 9-6 scoreline isn't all too unconventional. So seeing both teams actually having pretty good CT sides is really cool. Infused, it almost seems like they are in the driver's seat. There's another car joke. Yeah, I apologize. But Infused, I mean, it's just nice to see. It seems like they've actually got a very stable and structured CT side, and I mean, we couldn't really say the same about the T side, but I feel like this is a different Infused, and it looks like they might definitely have a good chance at taking this match.
Yeah, so I like what we were seeing there from both Jenko and Surreal. Smoke went down from the CTs. See Jenko boosting Surreal up just to take a peek over that smoke to see if he can spot maybe a CT AWPer looking down mid. Obviously, if you can avoid dying and you just get that intel on the opposition, it's something useful. It's something Neil can use as he tries to decrypt this Infused defense right now. Dancy went big in the last round. The question is he going to be able to do it again as terrorists come his way? He's not actually pulled the trigger yet, so he's not actually given away his position as flashes fly in, and there's the first of what will hopefully become many. Misses his second shot, but gets a second kill regardless. Oh! Dancy is demolishing Method on B! 4 kills for Dancy as Surreal also falls to his death. He's the destroyer. He's the demolisher. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Infused Dancy.
I mean, you said maybe it's better for him to get into a stationary role. I mean, missing that many shots made it not as stationary as you'd maybe normally think of a CT AWPer, but that was so impressive. Getting, I mean, even just a second shot, as soon as he got there, you could just see, oh, he's feeling it. He's going to get a bunch more.
That third crisp no-scope.
I don't know. It was like a flick shot as well. Beautiful stuff. The fourth, obviously, not as impressive as the others, but everything chained together.
So in that kind of scenario, like, I just want to jump into your head, you know, crawling through your ear and jump into your head. There's a replay, of course, of the amazing play that we've just seen from Dancy. I said I wanted him to step up, and he certainly did. Well, you know, when you're a Method player in that kind of scenario, what on earth can you do?
I mean, there's obviously always kind of two sides to the coin. So one way you could look at it is that, well, we did everything correctly, you know. We took the A map control. We ended up taking B plat late. It didn't seem like, you know, there was a heavy stack on the B bomb side or something like that. It wasn't that they were being red. It's just an individual stepping up. So either you can look at that as like, we did everything right, and we still didn't manage to win the round. Or you can look at it as, we did everything right. The only thing that went wrong was the fact that he... So it depends on the mentality of the players. We can all hope that Method's mentalities are strong enough to break down the defenses of Team Infused. Because it would be obviously more exciting if we saw a really close scoreline, something... I'm thinking overtime, kind of. I feel like we usually get some overtimes going. Me and you.
Trust me, UKCS. When you consider that UKCS holds the longest ever overtime in competitive Counter-Strike, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Oh God, I remember that game.
It was like 46-42 or something like that. It was Excel versus.
Yeah, it was Excel versus. I can't remember who they were against.
Oh.
Well, you see, I was commentating that tournament at the time, and I wanted to commentate that match, but then I was told, no, we're going to commentate the other match because we think that match is going to be a bit of a whitewash. And then we finished the match we were commentating, and then there was someone just, Kyanite, we're going to jump into another match. They're at like 40 rounds. I was like, what? But anyways, here we go. Dancy in the right position at the right time. Dare I say it, the same position as last time, as he takes off the face of Pulse, pulls out the AWP, but this time round it's actually going to be the Pistols who are going to be penalising Team Infused. Jenko picked up Dancy's AWP and he made it count with a kill, and now it's none other than Fry who finds himself in a 3 versus 1. He's pulled out the knife, he's retreating away, and well, you know, it's almost like Team Infused did the hard bits right in terms of bringing this game back, and they've just gone and lost that round up against Method's Pistols.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's actually the guy who was the hero last round who actually ends up being the guy who messes up slightly here, I'd say.
From hero to zero.
Yeah, exactly. It's the case of him getting the first kill, and then instead of just holding down the plateau, which is pretty much his job, at least in that scenario, he decides to try to peek into the pop area. And the problem with that is that he had at least one, I would say even two probably, on the B-bomb side. They were actually watching that for him. So the only thing he needed to focus on was the plant. And because he dropped his guard for a split second, the Method player gets the timing right. He has to hit a bit of a nutty shot, and unfortunately misses it, goes down, they get an AWP, they get so much map control, and everything spirals out of control. So the hero that actually won that very crucial round, unfortunately, is also the one that loses them another also very crucial round.
It's all about them crucial rounds with Crucial playing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, watch your next game now when Crucial isn't playing. You won't say the word once.
Probably. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
All right, here we go. Pulse to get first blood onto Mr. Bear. It's none other than Zed. Very experienced man in terms of the UK scene is Zed. Most recently playing quite a fair bit for Infused. Won I-53 not long ago. Well, to be fair, actually, I'll say not long ago, but I-53 is quite a long time ago. I'm just living in the past in terms of British Counter-Strike. But here we go. Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that I'd like to live in the past in terms of British Counter-Strike, really, does it?
No, not at all.
Even though, to be fair, Gfinity are doing so much for the UK scene. And the Elite Series, first season, absolutely phenomenal. And as we can see, the second season ain't too bad either. Jenko gets the kill onto Mick. And the rest of the Infused lads pull out because the bomb's been planted on 8. And Method are going to make it 13.
You know how people like fresh memes?
Yes.
We just saw a piece of fresh meta from Method here. So we saw Pose go pretty much all the way back to the T spawn and smoke off the B plateau from there. He did it on timing, so I don't know if it might have not even been part of the plan, but it timed pretty well with the fact that the CTs had smoked up the plateau, then his smoke blooms, and if they want to still have that information that they can't be outplayed or whatever, they need to go up and peek on the right side of that smoke, and that's not really something that you want to do. So he throws it from so far away that he can immediately rotate off to the A-bomb site and help his teammates take the site. And that's, I would say, a fresh part of the meta. Smoking B plateau from spots where you can more quickly help out your teammates and kind of fake that you're going to be retaking the plat area. So yeah, it's just not that important, but I think it's cool to notice.
I mean, I'm sure everyone watching at home has seen how awesome the Gfinity Elite Series stage is, but I'm just looking behind us now at Cobblestone, obviously because we've got Cobblestone behind us on these awesome screens, and it just got me thinking, can you imagine once Counter-Strike hits virtual reality? I mean, I don't know whether it will ever hit virtual reality, but it will be pretty damn cool running around Cobblestone in virtual reality. Yeah. I think by that time I'll probably be about 35 and have kids playing Counter-Strike by the time that happens, but at least I'll be able to jump on the server with them and teach them some proper strats.
But then again, do you really want to play surf maps in virtual reality? It's like you just flying through
zombie escape.
Yeah, zombie escape. Oh, wow.
Running away from zombies. Go upstairs and you find your kids just brutally mortified. But here we go.
What? Oh, tactical timeout.
Tactical timeout.
The best part of the show.
Yeah, so tell you what, Infused needed a tactical timeout. In a way, it kind of upsets me because they huffed and puffed and they started bringing the game back. And earlier on, if you remember, me saying every little helps. Sometimes all it takes is one little mistake in a round, losing one round that'll turn a game completely topsy-turvy. That's exactly what we saw from Infused when they lost that eco round, which was, of course, a Method eco round. But here we go. Flashes bombarded in towards the B-bomb site as Jenko leads the charge, and I don't think they quite know he's there. Surreal nails Mick in the head. Neil gets his 7 so far, but Zed, goes unnoticed with a P250. Just runs out of bullets at the wrong time. But 2 versus 3, this is more than still winnable for Dancy and co. He's got to be careful, though, because a terrorist could, in the form of Pulse, flank behind him, unless Fry can keep Pulse busy. And there we go. Dancy's certainly busy as he stops the bomb going down. 2 versus 2. Pulse will drop Dancy. 2 versus 1. And Fry with it all to do, but unfortunately, not the firepower to do it.
Now, it doesn't look like it's the case. Only a P250 at hand. In a 1 versus 2 like this, it's going to be almost impossible. The only thing that he could really hope for is that they rotate off to the A-bomb site, but with the timer running so low, they have to plan on the B-bomb site. So, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to catch anyone in rotation, and because of that, he's going to be able to, well, I mean, the only way he's going to be able to win this round is if he hits some really nutty shots, and we'll see if he can start that out with just the 1. But it doesn't look to be the case as Method pick up their 14th out of 25 rounds. Which means, even though we do have a close game, and we actually are pretty close to the predictions of the players, I think there was something like 16-12 mostly. Unfortunately, also does look like Method are running away with it. Look at their bank as well. 1 guy on 8K, that's crucial. 6K on Pulse, Neil with 5K. They are rich.
Do you know who Ander Herrera is?
Yes, mentioned.
Do you not think Fry kind of looks like him in that photo? You know, with a bit of red as well. Looks like he's wearing a Man United kit. I don't know.
No.
No? No? Is it just me then?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got another pair of glasses in my bag. I think I need to put them on after this match.
Well, I think Aaron looks like Esteban Cambiaso.
Here we go then. It's all kicking off towards the B-bomb site. Jenko and Crucial getting the first few frags for the terrorists before Zed rotates in and chimes in with a kill of his own. 3 versus 3 as the bomb makes its way up towards the B-bomb site. 2 versus 2, 2 versus 1. It's all on fire at the moment before Crucial, well, adds insult to injury and it exterminates that final CT player. Great AWP play from Crucial. you can see what it means to Neil M. He's feeling absolutely bereft at the moment, but...
Yeah, he stopped shouting.
Yeah, got to feel sorry for
It's been a few rounds since we've heard him shout, unfortunately.
Got to spend all their buck now. And if there's any time to do it, Infused, it's now.
But it looks to be a good play from Method coming in. I like to see them going towards the A-bomb side, since the CCs do have low economy. A bit of a play here. I like this. Ooh, misses the shot though, needs to get away. Does, actually, almost completely intact. But only drops 18 points of health. So it is going to be Method playing it slow. I like the slow play when you're versus pistols. I mean, obviously it's only one pistol, but still a FAMAS is definitely less scary than an M4, for example, and an MP9 is probably a lot less scary than pretty much any gun in the game. Except if the guy knows how to run fast.
CSGO tips by NATO Safi, live from the Gfinity arena.
Avoid MP9s at all costs if the player knows how to run fast.
It's a new YouTube video idea for you.
Hello, guy. Well,
but there we go. So, Surreal taking a peek up mid. Little does he realise, though, the fry is close by. He realises that now, but I'm not sure he realises that Mick is lurking close by. So is Pulse as he trades that frag. Really good play there from Method. One player falls, but his teammate avenges that death. 4 versus 3 as the troops drop in towards this bomb site. Zed gets heard, Neil gets an important kill, and unless Dancy can do what is so close to the impossible, it is gonna be a Method victory in this British derby. The 4 of us predicted Method would win, but you can't help but give credit to Infuse as well for the fight back they showed at one point. But in the end, can't help but feel like that one mistake cost them.